You say you want financial freedom, less stress, more peace, but when it's time to take action, you freeze. The real problem isn't money, it's fear, it's habits. It's a mindset that's been quietly sabotaging your progress for years. And let's change that, starting today. Hello, I'm Jonathan from Parent Portfolio. When my wife graduated from pharmacy school, she walked across the stage with a degree in one hand and over $250,000 of student loan debt in the other. On the outside, we had everything that was supposed to equal success: a stable job, a six-figure income, and a promising career. But inside, we were stressed. We felt stuck. But even with all that money coming in, we were barely getting ahead. Everything changed when we stopped relying on income alone and started changing our mindset, our habits, and our own financial systems. And today, I want to walk you through the 8 exact steps that help my wife and myself go from being overwhelmed with money to being financially free. When our finances felt like a disaster, I didn't try to fix everything overnight. We picked one small, winnable goal: save $1,000. That became our first emergency fund, our get out of panic cushion. We started by saving just a little at a time. We skipped eating out. We sold a few things online just to get by. And little by little, we hit our goal. That first $1,000 changed everything. Not because of the money, but because our mindset created it. It was proof that we could do things that seemed difficult, but in reality, it created momentum, and it became the foundation for every financial win that followed. One of the biggest reasons people stay stuck financially is because they don't know their numbers. And that was us. We made decent money, but we never really knew where it was going. So one night, my wife and I sat down and laid it all out. We listed every account that we had, wrote down our debt balances, interest rates, and calculated both our gross and net income, and figured out how much were coming in and how much was going out. And to be honest, it was uncomfortable, but it was eye-opening. We realized that we were spending hundreds of dollars on things we didn't even value. And that moment brought clarity to our minds. Once we saw everything clearly, without judgment, without shame, we finally were able to take control. So, I don't care how much you make. If you're stuck in high interest debt, it will keep dragging you backwards. Credit card companies are totally fine with you paying the minimum because that keeps you in debt for decades. When we realized this, we decided to take action. We used the debt snowball method, where we focused on the debt with the smallest balance first while making the minimum payments on the other ones. We threw every extra dollar that we had to target that smallest fund: tax funds, side hustles, even some random leftover money or any bonuses. It all went towards killing that first low balance debt. And when it was all gone, we moved to the next one. It wasn't easy, but it worked. We didn't wait for a raise. We just created breathing room exactly where we needed to. So most people think budgeting is about restriction, but really, it's about alignment. We looked at our past 3 months of spending and started asking ourselves really tough questions. Did we really need the 4th streaming service? Or were those late night Amazon purchases really worth it? Are they bringing us joy? The truth was that a lot of our spending was based on convenience, boredom, or stress, and not intention. So we cut out things that matter to us, and that's where most people miss. We started spending more on things that matter to us. For us, that meant saving for travel, investing in experiences with our kids, and building a life that we can be proud of. When we aligned our spending with our values, our money finally started to make more sense and make us feel richer, even before our bank account caught up. Saving is important, but saving alone won't build wealth. Investing will. I used to think that investing was only for people with 6-figure incomes or financial degrees. But I realized I didn't need to be an expert. I just needed to get started. We began by taking advantage of our company's 401k plan. Even if we can only invest only $100 a month, we did it. And over time, those small, consistent contributions grew. One day, I logged in and realized that we built a solid investment portfolio. Not because we chased the stock market, but because we stayed consistent. You don't need to be perfect in the market. You just need to take the first step. So let's be honest, life gets busy. And when you're juggling work, kids, and everything in between, your financial habits can slip. That's why we automate our money. The moment our paycheck hits our bank accounts, that money starts moving. It goes to savings, it goes to retirements, it goes to bills that get automatically withdrawn. And whatever's left over, that means we can do guilt-free spending. This one habit removed so much mental clutter. We didn't have to remember to transfer funds or worry about missing a due date. And more importantly, we stayed consistent, even during a stressful season. Setting up automation took less than an hour. The peace of mind it gave us, it was truly priceless. So cutting back helped us for sure, but earning more, that accelerated everything. I realized early on that I just couldn't shrink my lifestyle forever. I needed to expand my income. So I looked for opportunities. I worked hard to increase my salary at work. And at the same time, I picked up side hustles that helped us grow and start our online business that you know today as Parent Portfolio. But it didn't happen overnight. But over time, our income started to grow. One raise helped us contribute to more retirement accounts, while our blog posts helped us make money while we slept. And our real estate deals, they generate income on a consistently monthly basis. So here's the thing, you don't need $1 million idea. Just take one income growing action, one step toward building more margin in your life. So this step changed everything, because no matter how good our plan was, it won't matter if you don't believe in your capability of financial success. For years, I believed that I was just bad with money. I thought being broke was normal. I believed that no matter how hard I worked, I'd always be behind. But that wasn't the truth. It was fear. It was a story I inherited from my past. So I decided to rewrite my own story. I told myself I needed to learn. I told myself I needed change. I believed that even if I started late, I could still finish strong. Changing your money mindset doesn't mean ignoring your problems. It means refusing to let your past limit your potential. You don't need to be perfect. You just need progress. And with every small win, you start building belief. And with belief, anything becomes possible. So these 8 steps are exactly how my wife and I went from being overwhelmed with our money and feeling like we're living paycheck to paycheck to building wealth, creating margins, and designing a life with peace, purpose, and freedom. But we didn't do it overnight, and we didn't do it alone. It all started when we set our first goal of just $1,000 of savings. That one win sparked our confidence. Then we got clear numbers and focused on being financially free and more intentional with our money. Once we found stability, we started investing, and with small amounts, we watched our money grow. We automated our financial system to stay consistent no matter how busy life got. We explored ways to increase our income, from negotiating our salaries to doing side hustles. And most importantly, we changed our money mindset. We stopped believing we were stuck and started believing we were capable. These weren't giant leaps. They were intentional, consistent steps that compounded into freedom. And that's why we created our financial coaching program, to walk beside people like you to help build a system that actually fits your life. So if you're ready to stop surviving and to start thriving, this program will help you take those same exact steps, gain clarity on your finances, set winnable goals, and grow your income and rewrite your story. So if you're interested, click the link in the description below and apply now. The spots are very limited. And if this video brought you some value, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Remember, you're not just here to watch. You're here to build a life of purpose and peace, one intentional step at a time. And let's do it together.